Welcome back to the Media Unrestricted podcast. I'm Dylan,
And I'm Chase.
and we weren't here last week mainly because there weren't a whole lot of news stories, but we're back this week. Although we're not together like we were 2 weeks ago. Chase got was one of his coworkers got exposed to COVID, so we're doing Zoom just for this week until he gets tested. And if he tests negative, we'll be back next week, normal episode. But bear with us
Yep.
just for this time, and we'll be back next week hopefully.
Yep.
We're gonna get started here with Spider-Man No Way Home stuff. First, we're gonna talk about the trailer. Now, what did you think of the trailer?
It was and more. I liked it a lot. I was expecting it. I had no idea it was gonna release until I was to it. And actually went to it actually when it dropped. When was after? I'm sure you probably knew about it. You know more about about trailers and all that stuff than I do. But yeah, I liked it a lot, and my hype level was high for it. What did you think?
Oh yeah, I completely agree with you. Like you said, I did know more about this trailer drop. I follow a bunch of YouTube channels and like people within the movie industry who know and have sources like around Marvel and stuff like that who know when stuff's going to drop. And there were sources saying that it was going to drop at Cinemacon and then Sony was going to release it after their panel, especially because they were pressured because there was a leak there. The trailer actually
The
leaked on
leak.
social media I think the day before, and it was a version of the trailer that didn't have any VFX. And since we have the official trailer, the leaked trailer was proven to be true. So I think Sony
Yep.
was even more so pressured to release the full trailer because of that. But like going into the trailer itself, like from what I personally know of plot leaks and stuff like that, it's nothing super spoilery, so it's not really that much. I'm not going to talk about the plot leaks or anything. I'm just going to say that the leaked plot leaks that have been going around for the last few months actually did turn out to be true. Um,
Yep.
there's no spoilers or anything about anything like deaths or anything like that from any of those, but yeah, the plot leaks that have been going around for the last few months are true, especially because of this trailer. Um, so starting out with the trailer discussion itself, it does pick up where No Way Home or where Far From Home left off with Peter's identity basically being outed and him being in trouble with the law, and like he just gets asked a bunch of questions and then he's trying to figure out what to do. And so he sees a thing hanging up that looks like Doctor Strange. So he goes to Doctor Strange, asking him if he has a spell to make people forget that he's Peter Parker. Now, if any of you follow other like nerdy YouTubers who do like trailer breakdowns and stuff, they reference that this is the story in this movie is taking heavily from the comic book. I think it's One More Day, where it takes place right after Civil War, where Peter unveiled his identity to the world by choice because of the treaty or whatever they signed in that comic, and he regrets that decision afterwards because I think um, Aunt May gets shot, and so he goes to Mephisto to see if he can bring her back. And he says, "Yes, I can bring her back and make people forget that you're Peter Parker, but I want your marriage." Because in that comic, he's married to Mary Jane, and I believe that's what happens in that comic book, and that's why a lot of people are wondering. And another thing, in the trailer, some people think that Doctor Strange is acting weird. Although I personally think
Yeah, I
that's just
kind
how.
of agree on that.
Well, I personally just think that's how he's always acted. He's always acted cocky, even as Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And some people are like, he's probably still riding the high of saving the world, so he might be extra cocky. But some
Yeah.
people think maybe they think he's acting out of character, and maybe through something that maybe he is like Mephisto is taking Doctor Strange's form or something. You know, because people always want to go back
I
to the
don't think
comic books
so.
like that. But I think it's just Doctor Strange being Doctor Strange. But we'll
No.
see when that movie comes out.
Yeah.
But like we got a ton of villains in this, basically leading up to the multiverse Sinister Six. Do you want to go into go into the villain scenes that we got in the trailer?
Yeah. Yeah. I know we got the Green Goblin which was awesome. I mean, the last awesome. Uh, People say the lizard's there. I'm not buying it at all right now. I can't buy it. I don't know if you're buying it. I can't buy it now. I don't know. What do you think about it?
For what?
Do you think the lizard is in this movie?
Oh yeah, I think he's in this movie. That's one of the leaks.
Really?
Well, didn't you see the part in the trailer where something jumped at him from behind? I'm pretty sure that probably is the lizard.
I can't buy it.
Why not?
I can't buy it right now. It's because I don't see my thing on it. That it's because I mean, he was the best thing of the first Spider-Man movie, and one of the Spider-Man, like not popular villains. So I don't want to buy it yet until I have official proof, because I feel like if you don't, I'd rather be surprised. And then there's so-called Sandman, which it took me a little bit to notice, but I don't know. I just don't know.
It'd be cool.
But the big one has to be played by what's his face? Oh,
who?
Damn, what's his name? Who played him in Spider-Man 3? What's his name?
Thomas Hayden.
I can picture him right now. Yeah, it has to be. He has to be by him.
Yeah.
Nobody else. And the big one, which we already knew about, Dr. Octopus, which I think that's where my excitement level for this movie went high. But how many? Who else are we missing? Mysterio? I know he's coming back. I know he is. I know he is.
A lot of people don't know. A lot of people are pointing to a toy leak that came out a few months ago that showed Scorpion, because he was teased at the end of Homecoming, Matt Gargan. And some people are thinking that he might be the sixth one.
Yeah. But I still think Mysterio's going to. I don't buy it. He's dead.
I want him to come back
he's
too.
Part of the Sinister Six, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He's part of the Sinister Six in the comics, so I thought. But I think the Sinister Six is going to be a great add to this movie, but that's why we have to have two other Spider-Men just to win that fight. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to lose my shit in this movie. I feel like this movie's going to be insane.
Yeah, and transition, and I think with the trailer, we've pretty much talked about all there is to, except for the views that it got. I'm going to transition over that into the article I have pulled up on the screen here. Spider-Man No Way Home's over its first day last week, the global trailer views smashed Avengers Endgame's all-time trailer record. Now they have it on here. After dropping the teaser at Cinemacon and on social media on Monday night, the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home racked up an all-time viewership record of 355.5 million global views in its first 24 hours. Now, the only other trailer that had that many views in 24 hours was Avengers Endgame, which had 289 million views. So that's about 67 million more views than Avengers Endgame. And I watched the Avengers Endgame trailer a million times.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, I even broke it down. I even broke down the trailer on my radio show when I was doing radio.
Really? I didn't know you did that. Are you surprised? Are you surprised though? I'm not. I
I'm
mean,
not.
this everybody was anticipating this trailer.
Yeah, people have been waiting for
I mean,
months for this thing, especially with the teases of like old classic villains and especially Toby and Andrew, because a lot of people were wondering if they were going to be in
yeah,
this.
yeah, and I'm gonna make my prediction now. I think it's gonna make more than Avengers Endgame. I really do.
Really, you think so? You think it's gonna make? You think it's gonna
I
make
don't
more
know,
than two
man.
billion
If
dollars?
it, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of nostalgic gonna be in this movie.
Uh huh.
Um, and I think, like I said, if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are back, this movie is going to kill at the box office. I really do. People are gonna line up no matter what's going on in the world to get their ass in that theater to check this movie out. Because I mean, who is not wanting more Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? That's what I'm looking forward to the most. If we can get more Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and hear that Spider-Man theme one more time, I will go ape shit in that theater. I will go nuts. I will go crazy. I mean, you know how that like last hour of Avengers Endgame was?
Yeah.
Yeah, last hour. That's what I think this movie is going to be the entire way through.
Oof. I hope
Hey,
you're right. I really
I
do.
don't
I
know.
know it's gonna be great anyway, but like I hope you're right.
I mean, I might be, I guess, being too fat about it. Um, but I really think this movie is going to make a lot of money regardless. Let's just see if it can.
All right, and we're gonna move over to some more Spider-Man No Way Home stuff, and that is the runtime listed by theaters, but the question is it real? Now, as
Yeah.
this says, a UK cinema chain has revealed what may be the MCU's official Spider-Man No Way Home runtime on a ticket listing. The UK-based theater chain Cineworld has created a ticket listing for Spider-Man No Way Home, which includes a runtime. Now, it's arguable why they would post a ticket listing 3 months before the movie comes out, when a lot of times they don't put tickets on sale for movies until like a few weeks before it comes out. But anyone's guess is as good as mine there. Um, there isn't yet a poster or even any plot information, but the time is visible and states that the film will be 150 minutes long, which is a runtime of about 2.5 hours, which I think for this would be a good amount of time. I mean, with what's going on in this movie, I feel like you need it to be
Mm-hmm.
a pretty good length, especially with like all the villains, so you can give them all a good amount of time. You can give it enough time to resolve and like bring in anybody you need to, and like take out anybody you need to.
Yeah. Um, I definitely understand this 2 hours and 30 minutes being the runtime because, like you said, I think it fits everything it needs to perfectly. But you also got to think in that 2 hours and 30 minutes, that's also including in credit scenes, the full credits. So probably it's running about maybe what, 2 hours and 20 minutes. So that's just about normal. I mean, I guess I thought I heard is would this, if it is official, would this be the longest non-Avenger movie? I thought I heard that.
I think that's right, because this is only I think a half hour shorter than Endgame. Because wasn't Endgame 2 hour? Wasn't Endgame 3 hours? Or was it four
Yeah,
hours?
yeah, three. No, it's 3 hours,
Three. Okay, yeah,
not 4 hours.
yeah. It's only a half hour shorter than
Um,
Endgame.
um, I definitely it would definitely make more sense for this over, I don't know, like the new Black Panther or Captain Marvel movie. It'd make more sense. Um, because I really think this movie is going to set up a lot for sure. And I think it's going to be multiple interesting. So this movie might be only about 2 hours and 15 minutes before you break it down. But I guess we'll find out. I do think tickets will be going on sale super early, just because I know they're going to sell quick. But I don't think they'd be on sale now, though. So I'm curious to see if this is true. I really don't know.
All right.
I'm not buying it officially right now.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not buying it either. Mainly, like I said earlier, mainly because it's still 3 months away. But I mean, I guess we'll see whenever we get a little bit closer. All right, we're gonna move on to the next topic here, and we get our first look at Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. Now, this is a like a reboot of the Resident Evil movies. This has nothing to do with the original movies. This is, from what the director described, basically movie versions of the video games, which is what a lot of fans wanted. We'll just get into the pictures here. This is the first one we got right here. You see you have Avon Yogia as Leon right here. I mean, for me, they could have at least made him blonde, but you know, whatever. They can do what they want to. It's their movie, I guess. And then to me, Claire looks pretty all right. She looks really close to how she looks in the game. Yeah. So I don't have any gripes with that. My only gripe would be like casting this actor in this role for Leon. That's my only issue. But moving on, we have this picture too, where it's basically the opening of Resident Evil 1, where they're entering the mansion. Now, I heard some criticisms from a Resident Evil fan who pointed out that there are a lot of inaccuracies from just this photo alone. He pointed out that whenever they were entering the mansion, they were severely depleted of like ammo and stuff. Like this said, even Chris came in completely unarmed, which made his side of Resident Evil 1 difficult, and yet he's here holding a gun. And I don't know. Like, I think this looks pretty all right for what it is.
That's actually true. I mean, have you ever played the first game?
Yeah, I played the first one. It was hard. It was really hard.
Because in the original, like, they have that attacked by like the dogs, so they like have to run inside the mansion. So that's actually true. So I don't know. But I think it looks all right.
Yeah, I think it looks all right too. And then is this the last one? Yeah, that's the last. This is the last one right here. And this is in the games. You remember Elisa Trevor, which was it's the daughter of the architect of the Spencer Mansion in Raccoon Forest. And she was basically experimented on. And this is what she turned out to be after those experiments, if you remember in the game. A lot of people are wondering, they think maybe this is just a bad photo or whatever, but they say this doesn't look like what she looks like in the games. I don't remember what she looks like. I haven't played the Resident Evil 1 in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too, but I don't know, man. I really kind of given up on the Resident Evil movies. Because, I don't know. They're not good. I mean, they're not good at all, except for the second one. The second one's the best. I don't care what people say. The second one's good.
I will say that we will.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we will give this a chance. We will go see it in the theaters whenever it comes out, just so we can, because it does look like it does stay kind of true to the games, because there are some familiar looking visuals and stuff to the games. So.
Yeah, I mean, it does look more like the game. I'll definitely give it a shot. I just hope for good things. I hear your gripe about Leon. It's definitely true. I love to see him blonde, not that color. What, like brown?
And plus,
I don't know.
They didn't make him shave off his mustache either. He still had a mustache. Look, he still has a mustache. Look at this.
Yeah, that's true.
Leon doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah, and that's all. No, is Leon in the first game?
This
I
take
didn't think he was.
one and Resident Evil 1 and 2, I think they said take place at the same time. So they're going to be doing these at the same
Oh,
time. So
oh,
this
okay.
covers the
That's
story
kind
of 1
of
and 2.
that could be all right.
It can also have
Okay, I guess that could be all
I
right.
feel like it could also make for a really messy movie if you're trying to juggle two different stories at once.
Yeah, that's kind of what came to my head right now. I don't know. I know it comes out in November, so we'll see how it turns out in what 3, 4 months.
Yep, something like that. It'll be out before Spider-Man. So
So okay, I just heard about this yesterday, so I don't know a lot, but I heard that they did a screening for the Batman. It was, I think it said 3 hours long, and I heard it was very positive, well received from people. So that's great news to what I like to hear about the movie because I'm really looking forward to the movie since that trailer came out. And I heard the Riddler, the guy who's playing him, I can't remember what his name is. I just know he's from The Girl Next Door.
mm-hmm.
And that he's actually scary and he's really good. And I heard that, which is no surprise, but Batman sometimes in this movie loses his shit, which is no surprise because like whenever he took out that one, like that Joker-ish clown guy, one guy, I don't know how I want to word this, but I guess like I said, I just saw it yesterday. I'm very happy to see that people received it positively, because remember when we talked about that they said it was received badly by Warner Brothers? What was that?
Yeah,
Who it was by?
that was a
I remember we
rumor.
talked about it. Yeah, and so I think can we say the rumor isn't true? Can we say it now?
Well,
Maybe?
yeah, I was saying the rumor wasn't true when it came out.
Yeah, I think we both were. But you hearing this that like it was received positively and everything, does that get you any more excited for the movie, or are you still excited regardless, or
Yeah,
where are you
I
at?
was looking forward to it whenever like it was announced, and especially like the review that what happened was the reaction that came out from this screening wasn't supposed to come out. Everybody who saw the screening signed an NDA saying they weren't supposed to talk about it, but yet somebody broke their NDA, and I don't know what's going to happen to them. But that person who broke their NDA actually talked to this dude right here on Twitter, Blu-ray Angel, and from what I've heard, this Blu-ray Angel guy is pretty reliable in the community, and he wouldn't be prone to lying. So the review that you talked about, I believe, is 100% legit, and it does make me more hyped for this movie. I feel like a graphic Batman story is exactly what we need. Because, I mean, you look at Gotham City, it's a hardened city of crime. They're not going to be like rainbows and lollipops everywhere. There's going to be fucking death and gore and blood. You know what I mean? Like, there's just criminals running around. It's a dark city. Like, it's a dank city. Like, there's, according to the Joker, there's trash everywhere. I don't know if they're obviously going to do that in this one, but, there's all, I mean, in this movie, they made the Riddler a serial killer. I mean,
Yeah,
it makes, this movie seems to me like what a realistic Batman scenario would be. But that's just me personally. I think the review sounds great.
yeah. I feel like that Harley Quinn show, because I think me and you, Harley Quinn show is definitely like how like that Batman universe would totally be. There would be language, there would be blood, there would be all this violence, anything. And I think this movie's hit it right on the dot. I would love to see an R rating. I know we're not going to get it. I'm just dreaming out my ass here. But I would love to see this movie be R rated by next year when it comes out. I'd love to see R rated.
Oh, I
I'd love to
guarantee
see
you.
it.
Didn't they say it was going to be R rated?
Did they? I don't remember them saying or not. but I would love for it to be.
I don't see how you couldn't make it
Because
R-rated, especially considering the Riddler is a serial killer in this.
and it shows that already movies work. Like Deadpool can work and the Joker can work. So it shows that it can work. So if down here in a few months, if they said the Batman will be rated R, I'm not going to be sad. I'm going to be excited, and it will go up one step higher. It already is high right now, but I think it will go up more. It is confirmed.
All right. And with that, we're going to move on to our next topic, and that is we're going to talk a little bit about a few things that came out of Cinemacon. Now, pretty much all the stuff that we care about that came out of Cinemacon, we've already talked about. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll down here. One of the things is that theater owners and industry heads are wanting more theatrical releases and less of the streaming service stuff that we've talked about. Now, I mention him all the time, but I follow a YouTuber named John Campea, and he went to Cinemacon. And we've talked about how Warner Brothers has been doing their day and date release for theaters and on HBO Max. And whenever Warner Brothers had their panel at CinemaCon, the CEO of Warner Brothers, or whoever it was, came up on the screen and talked about how movies belong on the big screen and all this stuff. And then from what John Campea said, there were a lot of people laughing in the audience, like snickering to themselves, which makes sense because, I mean, how can you say that when you've been releasing it on streaming and in theaters at the same time instead of just exclusively in theaters? But regardless of that, at CinemaCon, we got the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer. A big one is they showed a sizzle reel of new Uncharted footage at CinemaCon, which a lot of people have said looks really good. You got that Batman test screening, and they released a new trailer at CinemaCon. I don't think the test screening was at CinemaCon, but they got a new trailer at CinemaCon that we don't have yet. And I mean, that's pretty much it, other than let's see. There's a movie coming out called there's a Princess Diana biopic called Spencer that stars Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana. That's gonna be coming out, I think, next year or something, because it says it's still got to be released at a bunch of film festivals. And then they gave the people at CinemaCon 9 minutes of footage from No Time to Die, James Bond 007, which would have been cool to see if you were at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
And that comes out on October 8th, that movie does. So, I mean, other than that stuff, that's pretty much all there was at CinemaCon, which is some cool stuff. If anyone ever gets into the movie theater business, you'll probably get invited to this, and you'll get exclusive access to a lot of this stuff.
Well, when can we get into the movie theater business? Because I want to go to CinemaCon. Dude. All this stuff sounds really cool. For the Uncharted footage, I want to see that. I want to see that stuff. I hate that it was only like exclusively for them. Like that sucks.
Oh, also,
I think there was some Halloween Kills stuff too.
Something else that got mentioned was that people in attendance at CinemaCon got a full screening of Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
Fuck.
And there were actually first reactions to this. First Ghostbusters Afterlife social reactions call it the sequel fans have been waiting for. We can just throw this in here right now. Let's see. Yeah, Sony already screened the movie, part of CinemaCon. And it's going to be released in November, so we have another November release to look forward to. Let's see here. We all know this is directed by the son of the man who directed the original two. And let's see here. Where is it? Let's see. Yeah, Steven Weintraub from Collider, who's obviously he's an industry insider, and he's obviously reliable. And he posted that he heard from multiple people that Ghostbusters Afterlife was awesome, and Sony was beyond happy with how it turned out. The fact that it was screened at Cinemacon months before release means it must be true. And I even saw, going back to John Campea, he saw it and he said it was fantastic, and like he said he said it was the sequel that everyone's been waiting for. He really liked it, and so I'm even more excited to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife, especially after like hearing these first reactions.
Yeah, man, I am super excited too. This is, I think, the I believe the movie was technically supposed to come out. It was at first. I think it was this month. This was last month. I can't remember. But I'm excited. I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters. And I'm glad that they. Because we talked about that trailer that came out a few weeks ago. Phil, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Or a couple months ago. That trailer was really good, and I'm glad that they're bringing back. Well, I know they're bringing back Dan Aykroyd because he was at the end of the trailer. Bill Murray, I don't know, but I think this movie is going to be awesome. I wasn't surprised at all because it's got a great cast. So, and if you say it comes out in November? I thought it was next year. Or am I just
No, it said November 11th on here, I think. Yeah, it says it was originally scheduled to release on July 10th, 2020, but was pushed back to March 2021 and then to June. And then after several delays, Ghostbusters Afterlife finally comes to theaters on November 11th.
Okay. So only 3 more months for that one?
Yeah, because
I feel like we're going to end this year on a high note.
This year, like at the end, we're getting a lot of movies. Because doesn't Eternals come out in November also?
Yeah.
Or is it October? It's November, yeah. I think.
November.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
I think these last few months, movie-wise, is going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of great movies for people to see, and I can't wait for all to come out. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great end of the year. I can easily tell.
Also, there was a rumor that came out a little bit ago about Venom 2 being delayed to 2022. That rumor's not true. I don't know if you heard about that or not. It was because it got pushed back a few weeks. That we talked about it 2 weeks ago. It got pushed back a few weeks to like late October, and then there was a rumor that came out last week that it got pushed back to 2022, but that's not true. I'm pretty sure that's not true. I think I read that it's not true, but yeah, we don't have to worry about that. That'll still be in 2021 also.
Yeah, man. This is great. Last few months this year. A lot of great movies coming out. So, and I forgot to talk about Spiderman at the end when it's exclusively in theaters. I love to see that. That's what I've been wanting to happen. So I'm glad Disney's doing that. That's
Yeah, and here's the Halloween Kills stuff you wanted to talk about. New Halloween Kills footage debut at Cinemacon, and it apparently shows Laurie trying to remove Michael's mask, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. The article says that while not all of the footage seems to be new, it still sets up a terrifying ride. According to Screen Rant, the trailer begins with a pumpkin and children playing. When a woman asks them, "Hey, what are you guys doing out here? Are you alone?" one of the kids answers, "There's a creepy man in a white mask, and he's trying to play hide and seek with us." The woman sees Michael, who jumps on the roof of a van and attacks its passengers. Someone else tries to shoot him, but her gun is empty. The trailer then cuts to the house fire from the end of 2018's Halloween, and the police question the Strodes. One of the officers says Michael is alive, and a voiceover from Laurie says 40 years ago the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers. The trailer shows survivors from other Halloween films with Anthony Michael Hall's Tommy among them. And that says Andy Matichak. Oh, Allison. Okay. Tries to take on Michael but loses, and Judy Greer's Karen shouts, "You want to fucking kill someone? Take me." Laurie is then seen with a bloody knife in hospital and says, "I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes." The trailer ends with Laurie trying to unmask Michael. Wonder when we're going to see that trailer.
I don't know, because you just reading to that got me so excited. Definitely that opening with the kids and all that stuff. That just sounds. I can picture that in my mind. How awesome that sounds. You know how excited I am for this movie, and like I said, I'm seeing this movie over Venom. I just got to see this movie. I'm so excited for it.
One of the things that I really like about this like new Halloween series is that Jamie Lee Curtis is so on board with it. Like, from what I heard, I don't know if you told me or somebody else did, that she didn't really want to keep doing these roles because she didn't want to be like known as like the horror girl or whatever.
I did. But, I told you.
Yeah. And I think from what I've heard, she loves the series now, and she's perfectly fine with being known as the horror girl. Which, I mean, for her, she's rich now, and she probably made a ton of money off these movies and stuff like that. So I'm sure it really doesn't bother her that much. But from what it seems like is she really loves the role she plays. And I think you can tell that, especially through like the 2018 Halloween. And then also from the trailers and stuff from this one. Like, she really enjoys the role of Laurie Strode, and I'm really happy she does. Because she's not phoning it in or anything. She actually does care about putting in a great performance.
I think what some of it is too is like people are still have that sour taste in their mouth after Halloween Resurrection, her last in the series where they killed her off just like that. I think like she wants to make sure she puts in this role. Because I mean, a lot of people. Jamie Lee Curtis, that's what she's known for. I mean, she was in Freaky Friday and that one Schwarzenegger, I can't remember that people like. But I just feel like she just wants to make sure the fans, since a devoted fan base, that they have that part of the movie series that people like, and people really enjoy the new Halloween movies. Well, I guess people didn't, but I definitely like it. I can see how this one turns out, and then I know in January of next year is when they start filming Halloween. So it's good to see Halloween still a big thing with people.
Yeah, and the movie you were thinking of was True Lies. Came out in 1994.
That's it. But like I said, let's. Are you gonna watch this trailer? Because I think you just reading it to me, I think got me enough. But I don't. If they would release this trailer, I don't think I'll watch it.
I don't think we need to see it. I'll watch the trailer after I watch the movie because the trailer sounds cool, but I don't want to watch it because it sounds like it might spoil stuff. But we're going into September. I think September is literally either tomorrow or Wednesday. So I mean, we're literally only like a month away. So there's no point in spoiling yourself.
Yeah.
So there's no point in watching more stuff when we're this close.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've seen, but Trick or Treat Studios released the Halloween Kills mask, which it's getting backlash because it's like yellow-ish on the side of it for some reason.
Really, I actually want to look that up.
But
I'll do it live here on the show. Well, we're not live, but I'm just recording it, you know. But I'll keep this in the thing.
And they are going to come out with they're going to come out with like a NECA figure of the Halloween Kills, and there's a few things.
Are you talking about this one?
That kind of
Are you talking about this one?
do that. Yeah, it's a picture.
Hey, is this the mask they're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I honestly
That
don't
is it.
see a huge issue
I
with
know.
it, personally. Like, I mean, to me, like, the side
Well,
looks more green than yellow. Are you talking about, like,
okay.
this
Well, it's
burnt
gonna look
side?
good in a picture. Yeah, it's the burnt side.
Oh.
Well, it's gonna look good in a picture. See, like what you actually get
Yeah.
from what you can buy at stores now. Um, like yellow, like it's like it's like pea yellow. But
Hmm. Okay. All right. And I think that will conclude our Halloween talk. And I think we'll be talking about Halloween. We'll only be talking about Halloween next, I think, until the movie comes out. Candyman actually took over the box office with a 22 million debut. And according to the article, it says it surpassed industry expectations despite fears the Delta variant would keep people from going to the movies. Though multiplexes have struggled to sustain momentum as COVID-19 cases continue to surge, Hollywood has witnessed that new films available only in theaters, such as Candyman and last weekend's Free Guy, have steadier ticket sales compared to tentpoles being offered on both streaming and in theaters, like Suicide Squad and Reminiscence. It says Candyman cost $25 million to produce and appears on track to become one of the rare pandemic-era releases to become profitable during its theatrical run. A lot of people are also contributing this to apparently its positive reviews, although I
yeah,
personally haven't seen any positive reviews. I've only seen reviews that say it's not that good, but maybe I only looked at a few different places. I don't know.
I haven't really heard. I've seen some reviews saying it was good, so I don't know. I'm not really surprised that it took number one because I knew it would because horror, like I said, horror sells. So,
Yeah.
um, but and I think also it's Jordan Peele's since it's Jordan Peele's movie, people want to see it. But I wouldn't expect it to last number one long though. I wouldn't be surprised if it took like a Suicide Squad like downfall. I'm not trying to be anything against it.
Uh-huh.
I just got a feeling like people would see it opening week and that's about it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I do want to see the movie. I don't know if you want to see the movie. I know I want to
Yeah, I'd
see
like
it.
to see it. I need to see the first one first, though.
Well, we'll get you caught up because I own the first one. The first one's really good. A lot of people don't think it's great, but I think it was good. Only concern I have about this movie, I don't understand where it comes in the timeline and
It
what this movie is. And
this is a direct sequel to the original.
oh, okay. I
They're
got you. I got
ignoring
you.
everything after the first one.
Okay, I got you. That might work out. So it's kind of doing a Halloween, basically, I guess. Um, what was number two? Free Guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll actually talk about that now because I'm going to go into the box office numbers. Last weekend, which I guess is technically this weekend, or the latest weekend, I should say. Candyman came in at 22.4, like we mentioned. Free Guy earned another 13.6 million, which I don't think is down that much from its opening weekend, actually, because it was number one at the it was number one last weekend over the Paw Patrol movie. Jungle Cruise is still holding on at number 4, and Don't Breathe 2 is there at number 5. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Let's see where. Yeah, that's pretty much that in regards to the box office from this past week. I mean, these pandemic movies have been doing pretty well that are released only in theaters. So
Yeah. So, and I think that's what's Venom. I think is doing that. I know Spider-Man's doing that. So I expect kind of like the direct to the streaming websites and all that stuff. I think that's going to go down. I think it's going to be exclusively in theaters, which, as you know, that's the way me and you want it to be. So I'm glad people are making it out to the movies. And like I said earlier, it's going to be a good, I think, good rest of the year for movie theaters with the movies coming out and everything.
all right, and do you want to get started talking about this one?
I'll do episode 3. You do too.
Okay, Marvel's What If episode 2. What the premise is that it's basically what if T'Challa became Star-Lord. And I mean, in regards to everything, it pretty much turned out kind of the same, except not really, like, at all. Um, T'Challa being Star Lord means he was more known around the universe for what he did, because he did a lot in this episode, and like because a lot of stuff's changed. And instead of this guy right here on the ground saying "who" like he did in Guardians of the Galaxy, he said, "Oh, you're Star Lord," like known all around the galaxy and stuff like that, and basically was like a fanboy. And so we still got Yondu and his like whistle arrow thing, but we learned later on that Thanos in this Marvel universe isn't evil anymore. T'Challa actually managed to convince Thanos that there were other ways to allocate the universe's resources, and basically got him to be. And this episode basically showed us a Ravager Thanos. Thanos is basically on Star Lord's team, which was interesting to find out, and it was really cool. And like what I like about this is that all of the characters are voiced by their actual actors in this episode, which I really
Yeah.
love. Josh Brolin being Thanos, like it was so cool to hear his voice back, and
Yeah.
like Nebula is voiced by Karen Gillan, and like T'Challa is Chadwick Boseman. Um, like just everybody is their characters. Michael Rooker is Yondu. Like we got all the original
Yeah.
voice actors back for their roles. And the villain in this episode is actually the Collector, and now he's like a big buff dude, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the episode, we got a reappearance of Howard the Duck, even though he was only in, I think, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie for a really small time, but he was kind of really helpful in this episode. And I mean,
Yeah.
at the end, at the end of the episode, T'Challa and the Ravagers actually go back to Wakanda, and basically just like have a feast and stuff with them, because T'Challa got brought back home and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good episode. It had a lot of surprises, and the Collector is voiced by Benicio del Toro, which was cool too to hear him
Yeah.
come back. But and also the King of Wakanda was also voiced by the guy who did him in Civil War, so that was
Yeah.
cool too.
That was cool.
But yeah, it was a great episode. What did you think of it?
Yeah. I liked it a lot. But you're not talking about the ending with
Oh yeah, yeah.
with well, what's his what
Peter Quill.
Chris Pratt, Peter Quill. Thank you. Working at Dairy Queen. I mean,
Since he never got picked up, he got to grow up.
That's pretty cool. More or less because in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they went to Dairy Queen, wasn't it? At the beginning, Ego
Yeah.
and his mom. That was cool. But yeah, I like this one because the first one was more or less just the same thing, just a character change. But this one was kind of its own little different thing. And like you said, it is so cool to hear the actual people's voices, because you can't buy it if it's not the same person like they did in the first episode. But hearing Josh Brolin's awesome in everything he does. Hearing him back as Thanos is cool. Michael Rooker is always great. Karen Gillian's always awesome. So hearing the same people, it's the way it should be, and I liked it a lot. I think it's really cool.
All right, and we're gonna move on to the What If episode 3. Now, if you want to, you can talk about this one since I did episode 2.
Yeah. Um, Actually, I think this one is my favorite because it's different and it's so cool what they did. Where um, they are trying to recruit the Avengers Initiative, but the Avengers, like, they all start dying off. Let's see. I'm trying to think how some of them died. I should know this. Um, Help me out here. Help me out.
Tony died because they
Uh,
were trying to inject him with like the
yeah,
antidote for his illness, but it turns out that Hank Pym was actually he shrunk himself down so small that he was in the needle and flung himself into Tony Stark, and that's what killed him.
yeah, and then the Hulk exploded,
Yeah,
right?
because whenever he got shot in the shoulder, Hank Pym was on the bullet, and he went inside and threw one of the enlargers at his heart, and he exploded from that.
And then uh, Black Widow was. See, why am I forgetting this? She was shot, right?
I don't think we saw how she died. She was in the
Oh yeah,
library, and Hank Pym was fighting her, and we just saw her get dragged away, and that was it. Because she was saying
yeah.
hope, it's all about hope, and then she got dragged away. We don't know exactly how she died. I don't think.
And then Thor, what? No, Thor was shot, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was shot by
Yeah, he was
Hawkeye's
shot.
arrow, but Hank
Yeah,
Pym like flung himself at Hawkeye's hand, which made him loose it, and that's what he
yeah,
got shot from.
yeah. And then Loki comes to Earth to.
And then Hawkeye died too. Hawkeye.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
I think Hank Pym was crawled out of his ear, which a lot of people are like, did that mean he just went inside and scrambled his brain or what?
I don't know. Like I said, then Loki comes to more or less defend Thor and everything. Um, but Loki is a good guy, which is really cool too. That's what I like about this Marvel What If. It changes things. Like you said, with Thanos being good now, like I said, Loki's good. Um, I don't know, man. This actually I think is my favorite episode. I really do. I like this one a lot. I don't know. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Seeing how all the Avengers died was really interesting. I didn't think that's where it was gonna go because I mean
Me neither.
it is kind of a dark subject matter. Although you don't see like blood and guts and stuff, you just see, especially with
Uh,
Hulk, you just see a green smoke. But like, I
it
mean,
kind of is.
it is still dark subject matter, especially and the fact
Yeah.
that for the majority of the like I said, the majority of the characters in the episode, we get the original voice actors. Um, Black Widow obviously isn't Scarlett Johansson. I'm guessing maybe because they
Yeah.
couldn't get her because this was filmed all before they did
Black
this
Widow.
a long time ago. So, uh, let's see, Iron Man isn't Robert Downey
Robert.
Jr.
No,
Uh,
because no.
Pretty much everybody else is the same. Samuel Jackson is Nick Fury, like he's been in the last few episodes. Loki is Tom Hiddleston. Lady Sif is the woman who plays her in the movies and in the Loki TV show. Coulson is played by the same guy who does him in the movies. Uh,
Um,
and then I think Hawkeye, I believe, is Jeremy Renner, is played by Jeremy Renner in this too. It sounds exactly
yeah,
like him.
it
Uh,
was,
yeah,
which is cool.
and
That's
then
cool.
my favorite of all is that Michael Douglas came back for Hank Pym. I loved that
Yeah,
because out of all of them, to me, he seemed like he would be the one that wouldn't. But I'm
yeah,
really glad he did.
yeah. I like that too, and I like that they made him a like the bad guy because he's one that I could believe that would be a bad guy, and he could do it great. Um, but yeah, this one is my favorite
Uh huh.
out of all of them. And I, like I said, I definitely thought it was like what you said. It was something that I didn't expect them to, because this is more based for kids, right? I guess it's for adults too, but more toward the kid audience, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
listen, so that's kind of a darker subject to take, but um, I'm not offended by it. I like it. I still can't wait for that zombie episode. I think that one, I think it's going to be just like this one, more for the adult audience than the kid audience.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, man, like I love these adult-oriented episodes of the show of like Marvel stuff because it lets you know that Marvel actually does
Care
care.
about the audience.
They care about their like adult audience because they
Yeah.
know that the people who are adults now are the ones that grew up watching this.
Yeah.
Because like back in 2008, whenever Iron Man came out, we were 12. I mean, we were still technically kids, but we were on the borderline of teenagers. But
Yeah.
like kids or people who are watching this now are teenagers and adults who don't care about violence and know what comes with violence. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I
Yeah.
got you. It's like they know that, hey, we have more adults that have grown up with us, so we want to make sure you guys still like what we're bringing out to you and everything. Because I mean, majority of Marvel stuff, it's for everyone, I guess is what
Yeah.
I want to say here. It's not for just adults or kids. Avengers Endgame, I feel like, is the most movie that is more for the adult audience than the kid audience.
Uh huh.
Um, but I like that they make sure that everybody is getting something that they're going to enjoy. And I think that's what episode 3 made sure that, hey, adult audience, we know you grew up with us, so here, this is something for you. Kids will probably have something for you next week. Or I don't know how they're going to do it, but like I said, I think that zombie episode is going to be really pushing it on adult. I really do. They have to.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see what you're talking about. Okay. We're gonna move on to our last topic here. Ignore this screen right here. This isn't where the last topic is going to be. The last topic is actually going to be us ranking our ranking Spider-Man movies. And when I say the Spider-Man movies, I mean all of them. Now, give me just 1 second to get everything set up here. And we are moving on to the Spider-Man movies tier list. And on the tier list is Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, the Tom Holland Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Venom. So Chase is going to get started with his. And which one do you want to start with?
I want to go with Amazing Spider-Man 2. Please put that at the bottom.
Here, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to add a row below
Okay.
and make it F tier.
Please, thank you. Fuck, hate that movie.
And I'm going to change the color to what color is? Let's see, yellow, green, blue. There we go. There we go. Amazing Spider-Man 2. You're gonna move Amazing. Say where you want to move it again.
I would like to put Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the F category.
Any particular reason?
God, I hate this movie. Dude, it's the villains are trash. Green Goblin in this is trash. Rhino is trash. Electro is trash. Them killing off Gwen Stacy, it was trash. Just it's nothing against Andrew Garfield, man. You're good, but this movie, you're an ass. He's just so I hate the movie. And I think you probably have around the same thoughts. Only thing that's good about this movie is his suit. It's very accurate. It looks cool. It looks nice. But God, I hate this movie. It sucks. Do you want me to go to the next one, or you want to give your thoughts on the next one, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, we were gonna do where you do your whole list and then I'll do all mine.
Okay. I guess go down the row. What's the next one? Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the tiers? Is it
It's S
Can
through
you tell me
F.
what they are? The tier.
SABCDF.
Can you put Amazing Spider-Man in the C category, please?
Okay.
Um, I like this movie. I do. I think the Lizard's great. I have a fun time with it, but just one I haven't watched in a long time. It's been a while. I can't even remember when it came out. I want to say
2012.
2012,
Yeah.
maybe. Is it that one?
It was 2012, and then
I
The
mean,
Amazing Spider-Man 2 was 2014, I believe.
yeah. I don't really care for this too much. I think it looks weird. Like I said, the Lizard's cool. Gwen Stacy is really good in this. I like Emma Stone. She's really good. I just don't feel like this movie is just one that like if I'm gonna pick like any Spider-Man movie to watch, this one never even comes across as like the one I want to watch. And I'm not trying to hate it because it sounds like I really am. I just think it's just like middle of the road. Like it's fine for what it was. It's just not great. Um, which one's next?
Spider-Man 2. Do you want me to just put it where I think you're going to put
Uh,
it?
if you know where it's gonna go, please. Thank you very much. I actually just watched this yesterday, and I still love this movie. Um, this is the best, I think, best superhero movie of all time. It deals with the greatest, I think, one of my favorite comic storylines of the Spider-Man No More. I always loved that story of Peter not wanting to be Spider-Man anymore because he's just missing out on things, like missing the play and all this stuff. And one thing when we get to Spider-Man 3, I want to talk about the changing, but it's really starting to build up that rivalry between Peter and Harry, and it works. Everything works. Dr. Octopus is great. I've loved this movie since I saw it, and it's still just top notch superhero movie. And I really want to hear your thoughts because I don't know. I think yours is going to be different than mine. We'll find out. Next one, Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Put that in the D category, please. What I don't know. What can I say about this movie? As a kid, I liked it a lot because me and you saw it, and I liked it a lot. But over time, I definitely see its problems a lot. In here in the backstory, Venom in this is trash. And I know Sam Raimi didn't want him, so I mean that's not his fault, I guess. Sandman is good. I like him. But the thing this movie should have done, I don't know if you ever watched. Have you ever watched Chris Stuckman review Spider-Man 2?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Well, he in his review he talks about what this movie should have done good is had Harry Osborn been the main villain, and like this them like kind of like the rivalry's been going on, and at the end of the movie, Peter beats Harry to like almost to near death, but he stops him, and they have a talk and everything, and Harry would end up killing himself because he knows what he's done is wrong. I feel like if they've done that, that was a Chris idea was Spider-Man 3 could have been just as good as Spider-Man. But then they forced all these villains, and it just mess. And then they threw in that Sandman might have killed Harry's grandpa. It's just a mess. I'm not saying I don't hate this movie because I can still watch it from time to time. I see its flaws, and I understand everybody. Far From Home. Put that in the A category. this movie, every time I saw it, I had an absolute blast of a time. Mysterio's cool. I really like the setting in where's Far From Home take place. I'm
Right
dropping a
after
blank.
Endgame.
It's no. What
Oh, the it takes place in Italy and um it takes place in London at the end.
well, I
But at the
mean,
beginning it takes place
before that,
in Venice where the canals are.
yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like the whole setting. I just everything about this movie is just it's great. Like I said, Mysterio. I just wish toward the end there they would have left the suit on him. I didn't like them like kind of taking it off him. I thought that sucked. But let's see. I like the that black suit he wears. I thought that was cool. Um, I'm trying to think what else. I've seen Far From Home. I just know I like it a lot, and yeah, I just move on. Maybe you'll bring out some ideas when you talk about it. Homecoming, put that at the put that at a B category, please. Um, I like Homecoming a lot. At first, whenever I saw it, I think I liked it a lot more than I do now. There's nothing wrong with it. I wish. I think I think is the best thing from it. Um, I really like him. I'm glad to see Michael Keaton going to be coming as him. Um, it's between him and I like Ned in this movie. Ned is really cool. But there's just a point toward the middle of this, like I some reason stopped kind of caring. I guess I don't know what it is. It's really weird. But I do enjoy the film. See, I sound like I keep hating on movies, but I did like it. I think it's cool that Iron Man is his the role model, and it's always cool to see him and Moose, Tony Stark doing his thing. So yeah, but I like that one at the B category. I think that's just a perfect spot for it.
All right.
Let's see. Now, see this one I'm not sure. Into the Spider-Verse. Put that at A category, please. This was an absolute blast of a Spider-Man movie, and I really think you need to see this. People need to see this movie just so they can get a good glimpse of what they're going to get in December with Noel. I like Nicolas Cage as the noir Spider-Man. I always liked that character. I think that's who he was, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Spider Noir, Nick Cage.
Yes, I like that character. Yeah, yeah. I always liked that character, Spider-Man. I always thought he was the cool one. It's always and it always. I thought about this for a second. I forgot that Doctor Octopus was voiced by the lady from WandaVision. The bad. What's her name? Did you know that?
What'd you say again? Say that
Um,
again.
the the woman from WandaVision, who played the villain,
Yeah.
is she is the voice of Doctor Octopus in this movie. Did you know
Oh,
that?
okay. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Because in their universe,
I
Doctor
thought I
Octopus is
found
a
out that
woman.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Haley Steinfeld as Gwen. What was her Spider-Man?
Spider Gwen.
Gwen. Yeah, that one's good. I think I haven't seen this movie since we saw it in theaters whenever it came out. So I think I need to rewatch this one before No Way Home comes out. But yeah, A just fits about right on that one. What's that? But Spider-Man won a category as well. Yeah. This movie is so nostalgic. I've seen it so many times as a kid. I used to have. You remember when the newspaper used to advertise movies? It's been since then. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
I
a
do.
newspaper in a while. But I clipped out a picture from that and had that hung on my wall for a long time. Um, but this movie is just so nostalgic. Like the theme, the opening, um, Harry Osborn is awesome. Like I said, Tobey Maguire is the top notch Spider-Man. A, a lot of people like think the MJ and the Peter, the Lush, and just kind of it's cringeworthy now, but I still just have that lovable for it. I think it's great. I mean, the ending on the where he has to fight between the train and I don't know, man. This movie is just so nostalgic. I love it. Um, and every time I watch it, it still holds up. It's still solid. But yeah, let's say I think an A category is, I mean, it's right there. It's between the S and the A, but I think A is where I put that one. And Venom, um, I think I'm gonna have Venom go to a B category. Um, when we saw Venom in theaters, I had an absolute blast with it and didn't understand any of the problems that people had with it. Even this still to this day, I watch it and I think Venom is an awesome movie and is the Venom we should have had back in Spider-Man 3 because it would have made Spider-Man 3 better if it was. But Tom Hardy plays a perfect Venom and Eddie Brock. Um, the villain, I think, is the falter of this movie because I just could care less about him. But this movie is really quick because this movie's only an hour and a half before credits and stuff. This is insane to me.
No, I had no idea.
But yeah, because the credits, the end credit scene, and all that, it's almost about 30 minutes in time. So which is crazy. I do think I said a B is perfect spot for it. I love it so much, and I can't wait to see Let There Be Carnage because I think it will be better than this one.
All right. Anything else you want to add about your list?
I can't wait to see what yours is because I think we're going to be really different.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to mine here. And I'm actually going to start from right and go left. Okay. Starting with Venom, I'm actually going to give Venom an A. I like you said, I had a really good time with this movie, and I think I've only seen it once, and that one time I did see it in the movie theater. I had a good time. I didn't see any of the issues people said. The issue people are bringing up is that they thought the ending fight scene was too dark. They couldn't see what was going on, but I saw what was going on perfectly fine. But
Yeah.
I still think that movie's great from what I remember, and I love the comedy and the dynamic between Tom Hardy and Venom. For the original Spider-Man movie, I'm going to give that an S tier, actually. As if you all remember in the ranking our favorite superhero movies from a few months ago, I think I gave the original Spider-Man I think I gave that my number 2 on the list, or my number 2 or number 3, but it's in my top 5 for sure superhero movies of all time. And I just love because it's like the original, it's the one we grew up with. I was 6 when that came out. I saw that when I was a kid in theaters. Spider-Man, Green Goblin, J. Jonah Jameson, Daily Bugle. You get everything that's comic book in this movie, and to me it's a really good comic book movie. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, this is a movie that's been nominated for multiple Academy Awards. I don't know if it won any. It was widely critically acclaimed for its animation and like groundbreaking animation and just like all that stuff. And it was a beautiful looking movie. I loved the music that was in it too. I thought all that was great. The villain Kingpin, he was great in in the movie. Uh, like also like animated Spider Verse. Like you can sign me up for animated Spider Verse. You can sign me up for Spider Verse movie. Period. Any day of the week. I thought all of the characters worked really well. We got some references to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in there, even though they didn't explicitly say it was his Spider-Man. So for me, this is going up in A tier, and it might even border on S. But yeah, that's just a really good movie overall. Although, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna move that up to S tier because I feel like putting that on the same level as Venom isn't really doing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that much justice. Because I'm gonna be honest, I did enjoy Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse more than Venom. But yeah, let's move that up to S tier. Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now this one was a great movie when it came out. I haven't seen it recently. I think, like Chase said, I only saw it whenever it was in the theater. I do agree with a lot of the criticisms of this movie that this movie relied too heavily on Tony Stark's involvement. And I understand, like, that was part of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like, he got help from Tony Stark and all this stuff. But I feel like Tony Stark was too involved in this movie. So for that, I'm going to go with Chase here and put it down in B. Now, for me, putting it in B isn't a bad grade in the slightest. It just means that I liked it when it came out, but I haven't seen it recently. And I have a few criticisms of it. Let's see. I'm going to add a row here. It's F tier. And then make that, I think we made it blue. Yeah. All right, cool. Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm going to put this up in A tier. And I had a lot of fun with this movie. It takes place right after Endgame, so obviously there's no Iron Man. And there is still a little bit of Iron Man influence, but it's not direct. It's basically just through Happy and Spider-Man's tech, which I'm perfectly fine with. We got a lot more character development for Peter Parker and like a lot of the other characters in this movie. We got the introduction of Mysterio to live-action Spider-Man, and I think Jake Gyllenhaal played the role phenomenally. And to me, the costume was like almost as comic accurate as you can get without looking too goofy. And so I really loved that, and I thought the effects were good and really built on relationships, and it's just an overall great movie. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. Like Chase, I have a love-hate relationship with this movie. I love some aspects of it, but the Venom parts are terrible. Topher Grace should never have been in this movie, just like Venom should have never been in this movie. Because if you take Venom out, it's a great movie.
He wasn't.
Like, you take Venom out of this movie, it's a great movie. I'll go ahead and say that. Because Sandman is a great villain in this movie, and I think he has a great character arc and character redemption arc. And then Harry Osborn, he's great in this movie too, as a villain who also has a great redemption arc, and ends up sacrificing himself for his friend. So like Spider-Man 3, I'm gonna put down in the D tier. I think that's where you put it also. But yeah, that's where I'm putting it. Spider-Man 2. Now this one is a toughie for me, mainly because a lot of people say this is the best comic book movie of all time. Now, while that may be true to an extent to them personally, it's not my favorite Spider-Man movie. A lot of people say it's their favorite Spider-Man movie, but mine is still the original first one. But I definitely understand the love for this one, and it is a great comic book movie, but for me personally, I'm going to put it in A tier. And yeah, that's where I'm putting that. A lot of other people probably put it in S tier, but that's just how it is, I guess. And I'm looking forward to seeing Doc Ock come back in the newest Spider-Man movie that's coming out. Amazing Spider-Man 1. When we saw this in theaters, like Chase said, for a lot of the Spider-Man movies, I had a blast. Didn't see any real iconic Spider-Man villains in this one other than Lizard, which is okay, I guess, because I mean it's the first Spider-Man movie in what they were hoping, I think, to be a trilogy that only ended after the second one. But
Yeah.
Lizard was okay. Didn't do as much as I thought he should have, but you know it's whatever. His suit was okay too. It was a little too metallic-y for my taste. Like the eyes were too orange, and like everything on it just seemed too metalish for my personal taste and everything. But you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna give Amazing Spider-Man 1 a B because I thought it was a good start to their franchise that slowly piddled away into a big fart. And speaking of big fart, we're moving on to Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And everything, like Chase said, everything about this movie sucks ass. Electro's terrible. Why is he blue? Why is he blue? Why is he shooting blue lightning? Which I love that they're fixing in Spider-Man No Way Home. They're making him yellow. Like they're giving him yellow electrical powers, which I love. They killed off Gwen Stacy, which was, like Chase said, was stupid. There's no reason to do that in the second movie. They didn't kill off Mary Jane in any of the three in the Sam Raimi one, but whatever. And apparently I learned that Mary Jane was in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but I didn't know that.
She was not in them. She was in a deleted scene for the second one, which they didn't. It's nowhere to be found on that deleted scene, so I don't know where it is. But yes, she was going to be in Amazing Spider-Man 2, so that's why they would have killed off Gwen Stacy, which is still a dumb ass idea.
They were going to kill off Gwen Stacy in 2 and then introduce Mary Jane in the third one.
Yeah,
that's stupid. Yeah.
I mean, I actually really like Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. Their connection is really good. It's way better than Tobey Maguire's and oh my God, what's her name from? Because she was in Spider-Man 3.
Kirsten Dunst.
Who played Gwen Stacy.
Oh,
she was in.
Oh, what's her name?
Jurassic.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes. Like I feel like her, Andrew and Emma Stone's connection is way better than theirs. But I know you gotta say the Green Goblin is shit. Please say it.
Yeah, I almost completely forgot to mention him, which tells you a lot. The Green Goblin is shit in that one because he literally just transforms into a goblin, which is weird to me. Like he's all like mucky green and like his face is like a weird color and he's got like pointed teeth and I don't know why'd they make Harry Osborn Green Goblin in that? It makes no sense to me. I think Harry Osborn in the comic books is Hobgoblin, right? Or is he something else?
Yeah. He's Hobgoblin.
So
which would have made sense.
So I don't know. It's weird to me. I'm going to I'm like you. I'm just gonna put it in F. There isn't much you need to say about it. The villains are terrible. The story's terrible. Killing off characters that don't need to is terrible. It's just a terrible movie. And if the rumors are true and he does return in Spider-Man No Way Home, then hopefully they can give his Peter Parker like the kind of showing he actually deserved, because he was a good Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Well, he was a good Spider-Man. He was too I guess quote unquote handsome to be Peter Parker for me personally, but like because Peter Parker's supposed to be like a nerdy kid, and you wouldn't see Andrew Garfield as being like a nerd in school. You just wouldn't. So I think he was a good Spider-Man. Hopefully they do his Spider-Man justice in No Way Home if he's in there.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
All right. And I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Media Unrestricted podcast. Thank you for watching. Anything else you want to say, Chase?
Hopefully we'll be able to see Shang-Chi on Thursday. I mean, hopefully everything goes good because I really want to see that movie.
Yes.
But I guess stay tuned. Hopefully everything should be going good by then. So, yeah.
Yes. Like I said at the beginning of the thing, Chase was exposed to someone at his work who had COVID, so we'll be checking on that. He's going to get tested, and hopefully we'll be, like he said, we'll be good to see Shang-Chi on Thursday. So watch out for on Thursday if you for the fresh out of the theater if we're able to do that. When do you get tested?
Today.
Okay, he's getting tested today, so we'll know by today if
So
we're ready to see Shang-Chi. I will post I'll post a video update to let you all know when if everything's good, and so you know when to expect that Shang-Chi fresh out of the theater review.